Hello, my name is Angelica, and today I would like to discuss the developmental concepts. There is a proverbial saying, as the twig is bent, so grows the tree. This proverb was coined by poet Alexander Pope in the beginning of 18th centuries. This saying comes from Alexander Pope's Morals Essays. In his Epistle 1, Alexander Pope was trying to explain how biological and environmental forces interact and influence on human development and behavior. Everything that a human being receives in childhood has permanent effect throughout the life. The main part of the script of life is formed in childhood. Thus, the childhood is a very important part of our life. From the moment of birth, we can learn to be in relationship. That is the essence of life itself. We look at other people, at the world around us, and gain experience that represent the foundation to build our adulthood. Our parents are one of the main authors of our destiny. The basis of any life scenario are parent requirements, rules, guidelines, which can be both positive and negative. If in childhood we have received enough care and love, in adulthood things are most likely to go well. Sorry. However, if our childhood experience has been negative, we probably enclose ourselves in the past, focusing on psychological and emotional traumas, refuse to take responsibility for our lives, and are afraid of situations where we have to make decisions, and sometimes the choices people make are very tragic. I'd like to use the story of James Holmes to show how the twig may have been bent. James Holmes, 24-year-old man, opened a fire at the movie theater, killing 12 people and wounding 58. Before ferocity attack, he was a graduate student at University of Colorado. His peers described him as a very introvert person who apparently didn't have friends. His private life was a mystery. He volunteered little information about himself. His peers told that he was a loner. James Holmes was in early adult years when he decided to carry his cruel plan into execution. Since we know only few things about his life, we can only make assumptions on what was the trigger for his attack, how this twig was bent. It is still unclear if he suffered from dysphoric mania or bipolar disorder. It's certain, however, that he was searching information about dysphoric mania. According to Erikson's psychosocial theory, psychosocial growth continued during the adult years. Most likely, Holmes couldn't solve the early adulthood conflict and might have experienced a loneliness and isolation that contribute to worsening his psychological status. It is also necessary to pay attention that Holmes was addicted of violent role-playing video games, which most likely served Holmes to escape from his own thoughts and feelings. From the other hand, however, the amount of time spent playing video games influenced on Holmes' behavior. Here we can recall Bandura's social cognitive theory, and in particular the concept of vicarious reinforcement. Bandura says that vicarious reinforcement is a process in which learners become more or likely to perform a behavior based on whether consequences experienced by the model they observe are reinforcing or punishing. It must be remembered that Holmes most likely suffered from deep depression or bipolar disorder, so we can't ignore the theory of Gottlieb, which is based on fact that individuals' development is a product of interaction between genes, hormones, and environmental factors. Their coaction might have been contributed to his behavior. It is very difficult to say if the tragedy could have been predicted. Gottlieb believes that the mixtures of genes and environment bring forth particular developmental outcomes, sometimes surprising outcomes that are not easily predicted. As I close, I'd like to cite the words of Alexander Pope. This education forms the common mind. Just as the twig is bent, so grows the trees. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.